Hello friends, my name is Suresh Kumar Sahu and today's date is 15th of November 2022 and today's video topic is internal implementation of IOC container. Now, we have started the topic Spring Boot. Inside Spring Boot, we have IOC and DI. The first part is Spring Web. Then the second part is Spring Core, and the last part is Spring GPA. Now, Spring Web communicates between UI and the Spring Core. It has implementations of Spring concepts like IOC and DI, and the last Spring GPA used to communicate between server and our UI, server and between Spring Boot. Now, what is IOC? IOC, as we talked in previous video, IOC is a concept inside Spring Boot which helps we have quite literally passed the making of objects to IOC. Now the making of object is handled by IOC inside the Spring Boot, and Spring Boot has done this to make it easier for the developers to lessen their workload. Now, how does the internal implementation works inside IOC? Now, there are many concepts inside EOC. First one is application context. Now, what is application context? Consider that we are making consider that there is a package inside Spring Boot, and in that package there are multiple classes. Obviously there should be one base class that we will use to call all the other classes, or we will write all the calling method in that base class, and all the implementation in other classes. So on that particular classes we will write annotations, and what it does IOC is where there is annotation above classes, it will take those annotations as a key and make objects of those classes and keep it inside IOC inside container. Now, how these container, now all the objects are stored in the container. Now, how can we use these containers that there's objects inside container for multiple purposes? Now, consider I want to use a particular object from the container. So how can I call it? There are two ways to call it. First one is auto wired, and the second one is bean factory. Now, what is the difference between bean and auto wired? These two annotation. Now, bean factory is literally a factory. What it does is when we compile the project, it creates all the objects and keep it inside the container. And when we use auto wired, it is lazy but also clever. So remember this point. How it is lazy, it will only create the object when you will call it. So but it will always take all the objects when being factory creates those objects, and it will take it from that bean factory. Now, the internal implementation uh, of Spring IOC, what it does is it is internally as a tree map. Now, tree map, what a tree map has, it has keys and values. Now, what is keys? When we write annotations of any particular above any particular method, that it is used as key, and the method inside it is known as value. Now, in this part, when the key is matched through the URL, then the particular method is executed and the value is shown. Now, this is how the internal implementation of IOC works, and this is all from my side. Thank you.